Hey folks, today we're talking about one of the biggest transitions you're ever going to go through. That's right, retirement. Now, whether you're planning to retire soon, you're already retired, or you're just curious what it's really like, this is the video for you, I think. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's talk about what you really need to know before stepping into retired life. Because let's be honest, nobody teaches you how to be retired. You know, you've worked hard your entire life, and suddenly it's just you, your time, and a brand new chapter. So let's start with something most people don't talk about: the emotional side of retiring. You know, we think of retirement it's all about freedom, right? There's no alarms, there's no meetings, there's no deadlines. But then, a few weeks in, you might wake up and think, well, now what? And that's completely normal. You know, you've gone from a structured life to one where you make your own rules. You know, that can be both exciting and a little bit scary. You know, many retirees experience something called retirement honeymoon. Those first few months are full of joy. You know, you're sleeping in, you're relaxing, you're doing nothing. You're doing whatever you want to. But after that, some folks hit what I call the now what stage. It's a moment when the excitement fades and you start searching for purpose again. Here's the thing. You're not losing who you are. You're rediscovering yourself. You know, the key is to build structure around what matters now. You know, like family, hobbies, learning something new. How about maybe just giving back to society? So don't rush it. Give yourself a grace period. Retirement isn't an ending. It's a new beginning, really. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. It's always there: money. Retirement changes how we think about income. You go from earning to withdrawing. And that mental shift takes time. First, make sure you understand where your money's coming from. Social Security, if you've got a pension, any savings you might have, investments, know what your monthly number is, what you need to live in comfort. And remember, it's not just about how much you have, but how you spend. You might spend less on gas and lunches out, but you're going to spend more on travel and healthcare and fun stuff. So you need to plan for flexibility. Also, be careful with early big purchases. That fancy RV, that beach condo, they might sound perfect, but give yourself at least a year before you make any huge financial moves. Financial peace isn't about being rich. It's about being secure. So make sure your money supports the life that you want, not the other way around. You know, one of the biggest surprises people have after retiring is how much time there really is in a 24-hour day. You know, at first it feels like freedom, but after a while, it can start to feel like too much freedom. So here's my advice. Create a loose routine. You know, nothing rigid, but something that gives your day, say, rhythm. Maybe mornings are for exercise or reading, afternoons are for hobbies or just volunteering. Evenings are definitely for family, maybe a quiet walk. You know, the goal here is balance, not busyness. Remember, this isn't about filling time, it's about filling your life. So let's talk about people, because retirement can change your entire social circle overnight. You know, when you leave work, you're also leaving behind, you know, daily interactions, friendships, and even that sense of teamwork. It's easy to become isolated without realizing it. So make the effort. Join some clubs, volunteer, take a class, learn something. Just grab a coffee with friends once a week. And if you're married, retirement can be a big adjustment for both of you. Suddenly, you're spending all day together. And it takes communication and space. Really, both matter. So you need to stay connected. People are the heartbeat of a happy retirement. Now, let's talk about something crucial: your health. You've got time now, and it's your greatest asset. Staying active isn't just about fitness. It's about independence. Get out and walk daily. Do some stretches. Do something you enjoy, like gardening, dancing, biking, whatever gets you moving. And don't forget the mental side either. Keep your brain sharp. Read. Again, learn something new. Do puzzles. Start that YouTube channel you've been thinking about. You know, your health is what allows you to enjoy retirement, not just survive it. Now, here's a big one. Purpose. After years of working, it can feel strange not to have a job title or a list of things to do. But purpose doesn't retire, it just changes shape. You know, maybe your purpose now is, I don't know, mentoring your grandkids or volunteering, creating something, or just, how about living in the moment? It doesn't have to be grand, it just has to be yours. You know, I always tell people, you spend decades building a career. Now it's time to build a life. Let's not forget the fun stuff either. You know, the little joys that make retirement so special. Slow mornings with coffee, weekday walks when everybody else is at work, unplanned adventures. How about afternoon naps without any guilt? These are the sweet spots of retired life. Don't overlook them. You know, you need to appreciate the simplicity. That's where happiness really lives. So what do you need to know to be a retired person? You need to know that it's okay to slow down. It's okay to not have all the answers. You don't have them all. And you're not done. You're evolving, folks. Retirement isn't about leaving work. It's about coming home to yourself. So go easy. Enjoy the ride and make this chapter your best one yet. Folks, thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe for more real talk about retired life. Also, just stay young. I should say, just stay young at heart. So until next time, folks, you all be good to yourselves, and I'll talk to you later.